few years ago, I came across an old, broken clock at the flea market. Its hands were frozen at 3:17. When I asked the seller if it worked, he laughed. "It's just for decoration now," he said. But as I walked by the store, a thought hit me. Twice a day, that broken clock was still perfectly accurate. And then I realized something profound. Life has started to feel like this constant race against time, always moving forward and always ticking. Hustle culture has convinced us that our success is measured by how busy we are. We have started to wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. Somewhere along the way, we've misunderstood vitality as having this boundless energy and an unrelenting drive forward. But have we ever actually stopped and asked ourselves, are we truly making progress or are we just moving for the sake of it? Imagine you're stuck in traffic. The lane beside you starts moving forward and instinctively you switch lanes. But then your previous lane starts moving even faster. Frustrating, isn't it? Now think about life. How often have we mistaken movement as progress? A study by Microsoft has shown that our attention spans have decreased to just 8 seconds. That's less than that of a goldfish. We are so focused on constant productivity that we've forgotten how to pause. And when we do pause, we feel guilty. Yet, nature tells us a completely different story. The ocean recedes before its next great wave. Trees shed their leaves so that they can bloom again. And even our hearts pause between beats. So why do we believe that vitality only exists in constant action? Stillness is not the opposite of vitality. It is an essential part of it. I want you all to think of a moment when life felt frozen. When it felt like nothing was going forward. Where you were falling behind while everybody around you kept progressing. Can I have a quick raise of hands of anyone who's felt that way at some point in their lives? What if I told you that those moments of stillness were not signs of failure, but signs of transformation? Some of the greatest minds in history have embraced this power of stillness. Leonardo da Vinci left Mona Lisa unfinished for years to let his creativity mature. Nikola Tesla came with breakthroughs in electricity after spending years in solitude. And J.K. Rowling wrote the legendary Harry Potter at her all-time low. Their vitality did not come from being in constant action, but by allowing space for transformation. This also reminds me of the beautiful Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold, highlighting each and every crack instead of hiding it. What if we live like that? What if we embraced every struggle, every failure, and every burnout as those golden lines that make us stronger? What if we finally realize that being broken does not mean we're useless? It simply means we are being reshaped. Vitality is not just action. It's about the ability to pause, to breathe, and to let the pieces fall apart so that they can come back together in new and powerful ways. In 1519, the Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived in Mexico. And the first thing he did, he burned his ships. No going back. They had to find a new way forward. Now, I'm not here to advocate for burning boats. Don't get me wrong. But think about those moments when life forced you to restart. When it forced you to let go of an old identity, a failed plan, a relationship that no longer served you. But wasn't that where you truly began? Vitality is not about relentless action. It's about knowing when to pause, when to restart, and when to rise again. Like music, the notes are powerful, but the pauses in between, they are what create the rhythm. Vitality is not about avoiding those breakdowns. It's about utilizing them to create something even stronger and more powerful. A shattered piece of glass can be melted and reshaped into a masterpiece. Likewise, a broken clock can also be rewired to tick again. Same goes for life. When you feel like you are lost, remember that you are not broken, you are simply recalibrating. When you feel like you're stuck, remember that stillness is not the absence of movement, but the preparation for it. And when you feel like time is slipping away from your hands, remember that even a broken clock is perfectly accurate twice a day. This broken flea market clock I keep mentioning, I ended up buying it that day. It usually sits on my study table, frozen at 3:17, but I have it with me here today. Sometimes when I feel like I'm falling behind or I'm not doing my best, I look at this clock and I remind myself that stillness has its own power, that life is not just about constant action, it's also about knowing when to pause and when to restart again. So the next time you feel like this broken clock, like your hands have stopped moving forward, remember that you are not out of time. You are simply waiting for the right moment to begin again. Don't rush to fix yourself. Don't scramble for movement just to feel like you're keeping up with this productive world. Pause, breathe, and let that stillness gather its strength. Because when the time is right, when your energy is restored, and when your vision is clear, you will move forward. And this time, you won't just be ticking like any other clock. Thank you.